Oh boy. Well, you'll notice that I missed a day uploading my squat every day project, and that is because I have damaged myself. I have produced a great example of what not to do, and I could feel it coming on, and my competitive nature got the better of me. I could tell my back was not feeling great while I was doing my deadlifts, and I kept doing them anyway. And I have found myself in some of the worst pain that I have ever felt. I was on my last single of the day, and then I just felt a little pop in my back and had some immediate pain, and I knew I was in for a rough time. So squatting every day has turned into rehabbing every day, and I will be uploading that instead. This is an important part of the process. Ah, boy, it is so easy. It is so easy to recommend to clients to take it easy. And if you feel X, Y, and Z, don't do it. But damn, if it is not the hardest thing in the world to take my own advice. It is so important. And I've talked to other folks about this, and it's a thing that I struggle with, and that I've found athletes in general often struggle with. People who are competitive and have a just a real drive to perform physically and challenge themselves. Folks with that sort of mindset need to be held back um, when other types of clients or just people in general need to be pushed a little more. And for folks with that mindset, it can be so valuable to have a coach or a trainer. And this is why even for professionals, it's important to find a teacher, to have a coach. Uh, because in instances like this, it is very easy for me to do the right thing if I have somebody giving me permission to do the right thing. If I'm left to my own devices, and this just sounds so dumb considering how many times I've been through this exact same thing. I'm such a moron, I feel like right now. That if I'm left to my own devices, I seem to always default to, I can do it. Push through. This isn't going to be, you're not hurt. You're just, it's just a little tweak. And the risk far outweighs the reward 100% of the time. I'm not competing for anything. I'm just trying to live my life. And now I'm finding it extraordinarily difficult to get out of bed. I mean, you can see in some of these clips, dude, I'm just really struggling to even move. Here we go. Oh, can't get up. Like there's like at times, it feels like a 1 millimeter margin of error. If I shift my weight just the wrong direction, um, boy, it's just like these explosions of pain just coursing everywhere. It'll buckle my knees. It's very difficult to get out of the car. Forget about. I mean, it's a multi-minute project to get out of bed in the morning right now. So very, very unpleasant. I'm very disappointed in myself. So anyway, get a coach. For goodness sake, it doesn't matter how advanced you are. You need somebody to uh, guide and teach. Even if you don't feel like you do, even if you have a good bit of knowledge, it's always somebody, an outsider is always going to have a clearer perspective on what your weaknesses are, so they can help design a program and prescribe work that's going to be more beneficial to you. And also in cases like this, for the folks who need it, they can give you permission to take it easy. Um, which is just an invaluable. I mean, one of a saying that's been going through my head often is a healthy man wants 10,000 things, and a sick man only wants one. And the day before this happened to me, I could have listed, 10 goals that I was working on, And now, for the last couple of days, literally the only thing on earth that I want is just to be able to walk again. Oh God, this hurts. Look at this. I can't, this is such a challenge, just getting down on the ground like this. Whew, there is nothing that doesn't hurt right now. No movement. So, anyway, what the process is here for getting back on my feet. You can't stay still. As soon as something like this happens, you have to start moving immediately if you can. Like if you're not literally immobilized, you can't stay still. Now you don't want to be in pain. You don't want to work through pain. The one thing I've got going for me here is, as soon as I find the position, none of these exercises cause me any pain to actually execute them. And in fact, I feel a great deal of relief after doing them. So the strategy here, I'm following some templates outlined by Heather Pearson in her book. What the heck's the book called? Let me take a look. Back Pain Free. And some of the stuff that she taught me when I was learning from her a couple of years back, one exercise in particular that you've seen in a couple of my squatting videos, the Clam, that has been so impactful. It's immediate, the difference that I feel after doing just one set of that exercise. And so as soon as this happened, I knew, like, all right, let me go revisit the book. I'm going to read the whole thing again. There are a few other resources that I'm operating with. I've got some Stuart McGill stuff and a couple of other things. Some seminars that I've been to. I've got a notebook full of notes giving me some guidelines, strategies, and ideas to work with. But what you see here is mostly stuff from Heather Pearson's book and the Pearson method. And the idea that I'm working with here on day one is to focus on my glutes. That seems to be the thing that gives me the most immediate relief, is when I get some high volume reps on my glutes. My back seems to be like my pelvis seems to be very loose. Like the sort of natural stiffness that I had just isn't there. And when I'm walking, it just feels like I have to pay such deliberate attention to bracing myself to stay steady. So with some work on the glutes, I find that immediately helps. If I have to go drive somewhere, I'll do a few sets of the Clam, 60-second holds followed by 15 reps. The Clam was the first exercise that you saw me doing on this video. And a couple of sets of that gets me into a condition where I can at least walk out to the car and walk around the store for a little while without feeling like I'm just going to collapse. So anyway, yeah, starting off with a few exercises to get the glutes working. Then there are some exercises prescribed in here specifically to strengthen the low back, but I cannot do any of those right now. Oh, jeez, dude. Look at me try to get down here. Yikes. Yikes, 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 yikes. What is interesting is trying to figure out all of the... poor me. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Trying to figure out all the different ways that you can maneuver yourself into a position. So this experience trying to get down here for this plank, I'm pretty sure I'm doing a side plank here. I have found that it is much easier for me now to maneuver myself onto my stomach. I can usually get down to my knees and then get into a plank, push-up position, and then just sort of lower myself down onto my stomach, and then I can roll as long as I like tense my glutes, tighten my abs, and I try to roll like a log, like a single piece without any, like keeping my shoulders and hips aligned, roll onto my side. That seems to be a pain-free strategy for getting myself onto my side like this. I had not figured that out at the point of this video. So anyway, doing some glute stuff. I cannot do any of the prescribed low back stuff, and I'm not entirely sure that I'm going to do all of the things prescribed. There are some that don't seem to be possible for me. Like I said, the low back stuff, but these planks, I certainly can do the plank. The challenge is getting into the position. Once I'm there, I'm okay to do the exercise. Maneuvering into position is the real challenge. So I don't want to do myself further harm. So that's one of the things that I'm being mindful of. But anyway, so I don't have a ton of work capacity for this. And I'm not going to overload myself with a huge variety of exercises, but I am going to build on these. I'm going to see what's impactful with these Pearson method exercises and this template. I'm going to follow the entire thing as best I can. Hopefully I can, over the course of a few days or a week or however long it takes, eventually get to working on the low back stuff, some gentle exercises to build some strength. It feels like stiffness is specifically what I need to be working on. It feels a little too loose, as I mentioned before. So stiffness is a big thing. The glute stuff, that seems to be key to my success. So anyway, if any of you have low back pain, you can follow along here. This is the Clam. Maybe I'll post a tutorial on how exactly to do this. I struggle right now to, one of the cues with this Clam is to poke your butt out like a duck butt is what the cue is. So you want to kind of get an extra exaggerated arch in the low back to kind of emphasize engaging your glutes in the as you raise your leg here. But I find that very difficult, so I'm doing as best I can without feeling any pain, and then hopefully over the course of time I'll be able to get more of the benefit by using the full form. So, all right, let's fix a back.